Have you ever felt like you're constantly pouring everything you have into other people, only to end up feeling totally drained and, honestly, a little unappreciated? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It's this super frustrating cycle. But guess what? There's a really powerful way out, and we're about to break it all down. So, does this sound familiar? You're the one who always seems to care more, right? You try harder in your relationships, at work, everywhere. But you're the one who's consistently left feeling completely burned out, maybe even a little resentful. Let's be real, that is an exhausting way to live your life. Okay, here's a tough but really crucial realization. The root of this problem, it often isn't the other person. Nope. The source of that frustration, that feeling of being taken for granted, almost always comes back to our own boundaries, or, the fact that we don't have them. So let's get really clear on what boundaries actually are. I want you to stop thinking of them as these giant walls you build to shut people out. Instead, think of them as clear, healthy lines in the sand. A boundary is not selfish. Let's just get that out of the way. It is the essential line you draw that basically says, look, I can care for you, but I refuse to lose myself in the process. It's all about fiercely protecting your own energy, your peace, and your self-respect. I absolutely love this quote because it just nails the whole idea, right? Boundaries aren't about making a choice, them or you. They create the exact amount of space needed to love them and love yourself at the same time. It's such a beautiful act of balance. And the difference here is, well, it's night and day. Weak boundaries, they just create chaos because nobody knows where the lines are. It is a one-way ticket to burnout. But strong boundaries, oh, they create clarity. They build this unshakable self-respect, and maybe most importantly, they protect your peace of mind. So what's the real cost of just letting things slide? I'll tell you, it's way higher than you think. It ends up affecting everything from your relationships all the way down to your very sense of self. Think about this for a second. Every single time you let some unacceptable behavior slide, you are basically handing that person a silent, invisible pass that says, hey, go ahead, do it again. Whether it's a friend who's always flaking on you or a partner who's emotionally unavailable, your silence is teaching people exactly how they are allowed to treat you. And this is where a huge disconnect happens. You might say you want a committed, respectful relationship, but then you keep entertaining situations that are the total opposite. Or you say you want respect at work, but you let yourself get buried in tasks that aren't yours. This gap between what you want and what you actually allow, that is a classic boundaries problem. All right, enough about the problem. Let's talk solutions. Because the good news is, building strong boundaries is a skill. It's something you can learn. So let's dive into 3 really practical steps you can take to start getting some clarity, like right now. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we get that clarity? It really starts with 3 simple, focused actions. So it's a 3-step process. First up, identify. What are your absolute non-negotiables? I mean your deal breakers. Physically write them down. These are your anchors. Second, reflect. Think back to a time when a boundary was crossed. How did that feel in your body? What's the lesson you can pull from that experience? And third, and this is so important, practice. I'm serious. Stand in front of a mirror and rehearse saying simple things like, that doesn't really work for me. It builds up the muscle you're going to need when the real moment comes. And when you actually start taking these steps, something really incredible begins to happen. This isn't just about changing your circumstances on the outside, it's about a fundamental shift in how you value yourself and how other people start to see you too. And here it is. This is probably the most important mindset shift of all. Boundaries are not about controlling other people's behavior, because let's face it, you can't. They are all about respecting yourself enough to control what you will and will not accept into your life. It's a powerful internal job. And here's the really cool side effect. When you start actually enforcing your boundaries, they act like a filter. The wrong people for you, the ones who kind of benefited from you not having boundaries, they'll just fade away. And the right people, the ones who truly belong in your life, they will respect you more, not less. I promise. And this is the ultimate payoff. Your entire perception shifts. You start to see people so much more clearly. You begin prioritizing what is genuinely good for you over what just looks good on the surface. It's a total game changer. So please, remember this. Setting a boundary might feel like you're saying no to someone else, But what it really is a courageous and powerful yes to yourself. It's a yes to your peace, a yes to your self-respect, and a yes to the life you actually want to be living. So I'll leave you with this little challenge. What is one small no you can say this week that will be a massive, courageous yes to yourself? Just think about it.